Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where I'm going to pose Games Workshop a question. Where is it? So this video is a bit of a catch-up with what's been going on with Warcom, mostly focused on the Horus Heresy because obviously the Sunday preview was all about quite rapidly releasing all of the units from the Saturnine box that weren't already released, basically everything but the Mark II Marines. The only reason people wanted the Saturnine box was for the Mark II Marines, pretty much. But they individually released the Mark II Marines alongside the release of the Saturnine box. Very odd choice, and I think that the result of that has been the Saturnine box hasn't sold quite as well as potentially people were thinking. It is an evergreen box, it isn't supposed to be a FOMO sell out as fast as you can. This box is going to be around for probably the next 3 years. But because there's been so much push on Heresy to the point where I am kind of done with it, but also we've had so many articles dedicated to the Horus Heresy and hype for the Horus Heresy, and like even this week, weeks after they started previewing this stuff, we still have 3 articles on Saturnine Terminators. I am not interested. We haven't done a lot with Warcom this week because Halo Flashpoint, it's probably my favourite game at the moment, had just an amazing box reveal for Gen Con. Absolutely blown away. It is everything I want in a box and then some. So that has been the big push for me this week. But we've talked about White Dwarf, we've talked about the free mini, which is cool, it's a Space Wolf and then the coin. We talked about the incredible new Necromunda models. We've talked about the Rumour Engine. Every other article that has dropped this week has just not been something that I would talk about on this channel. The Warhammer at Gen Con stuff and the events is cool, seeing what events are coming is fun, and eventually I would like to start doing some of these events down the line. But there hasn't really been any exciting articles, really, since Monday. It's been a very poor week, but we did have an amazing reveal show 2 weeks ago, so I'll let them off. But there was one thing that was supposed to be coming out this week. The big old Horus Heresy 3.0 Legacies rules for pretty much all of the units that are still waiting for rules that don't have them in the new levers. There's no Legacies rules. What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. Hidden within the Saturnine Armor building article, how to assemble Saturnine Terminators, of which you get, I hope that you get instructions in the box of how to build them. But this article, the only article that dropped today, is about building Saturnine Terminators. They actually look better without the shoulder pads, I think, personally. How is this even an article? It's kind of embarrassing. But right at the bottom of here, where is the Legacies of the Age of Darkness download? Yes, Games Workshop, where is it? We know lots of you are eager to get your hands on the Legacies of the Age of Darkness PDF. We'd hoped to get this to you by the end of July, but there's a small delay. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten. We're expecting the document to be live next week. Thanks for your patience. Is that good enough? Is this key document to this entire edition of the game an edition that is brand new? The rules have only officially been out for a week. The fact that there's a delay on this is embarrassing, incredibly laughable. It shows how useless behind the scenes they can be at times. Not all the time. If this was 40k, it would have happened straight away. My stance with this is that this document, this PDF, should have been released the Friday before the box went on general sale. Not pre-order, but general sale. A week ago, this document should have dropped. This document should have dropped with the Legacies of the Talons of the Emperor PDF. The fact that you're having to wait another week to use your units that you've paid good money for, that you've lovingly built, painted, kit bashed, the fact that you can't use them in this brand new edition that they were hyping up for so long, the fact that they knew this edition was coming out, that they knew that they were doing this, and they knew they would need a Legacies document, and they still can't get it out on time for release of this game is an embarrassment. The marketing strategy for Horus Heresy 3rd edition has been an absolute joke. To the point where in an article that is how to build the Terminators you buy in the box that come with building guides, right at the bottom, oh by the way, we haven't forgotten, there's just a delay, it'll be out next week. It's not good enough, Games Workshop. It's not good enough. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'd love to know how many of you are actually waiting on this document to be able to play this game. But the fact that they cannot get this out, the fact that the rules support isn't there for the community. I am glad that I am not looking at doing Horus Heresy at any point. To be honest, this whole last couple of weeks has put me off wanting to do it completely. And part of that has been the reaction to the rules that I talked about in a previous video, but a big part of that is Games Workshop's failure in delivering these rules, in delivering an app that you can do stuff with. It's a complex army building system, but you can write an app for that. If they really wanted to make this accessible, they would. Earlier today, my review of the first Journal Tactica dropped. And on the whole, I quite like the presentation of the book, but it isn't necessary. This document, this Legacies of the Age of Darkness PDF, is necessary to the game. But because it's free, there is no rush in them putting it out, is probably their stance. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.